All right. Well, welcome to the next episode or next issue of the What Else Is New podcast with Tim Graves. You guys out there, I mean, I was kind of like have to reintroduce myself because I think sometimes, especially during golf season, we get a lot of new people coming in. I'm Tim Graves. I founded Graves Golf Academy 25 years ago with my brother, Todd Graves. And we literally are, in a nutshell, we teach and preach the Mo Norman swing or the single plane swing across the world. The godfather of the single plane swing was Mo Norman. And we've used that principles and philosophies and his swing technique to teach across the world. And I'm bringing that up for a reason because I have Matt Vogel with me today. And Matt, and we're going to call this session Meet the Staff this session because we've had a few of these. We've had Brad on here. We've obviously had James on here. I've had quite a few of our staff on here, but I wanted to bring you on here today because you're the rookie. Matt's the rookie. And but Matt actually plays an extremely important role with Graves Golf. Obviously, all my staff does, but we're going to give Matt we're going to push him up a notch here. We'll explain that as we go through this. But before we get into that, I'm going to get a little history about Matt. Okay. So like meet the staff and kind of tell me where you're from, what you did. And then also a little bit about being a PGA because you just got your Class A PGA, which congratulations. That's amazing. And anybody's watched this on camera, I just want you guys to know, and it's always my detriment here. Every one of my staff members is tall, except for me. And obviously I'm shrinking now. So I'm over that age, so I'm starting to shrink. I used to say I was 5'11". I ain't 5'11" anymore. I'm like 5'10", 5'9" now. Am I right, Mason? Look at Mason back here. There's no way. Yeah. Okay. And how tall are you?
6'5". 6'5".
Yeah, he's that age where he's 6'5" and a half or whatever. So you played back. You said you were talking earlier. You played a little basketball a long time ago. Yeah. But he's actually, believe it or not, he's actually tall for my staff. But all my staff's tall. So when I sit in these chairs, I sit really tall. You slump, I'll sit up. Look good. Okay. So let's talk. So where are you from?
Originally from Dodge City, Kansas.
Kansas City fan? Yeah. Sorry. Okay. Whatever. We won't go there. So, I know you are because I felt really bad the other day. I was at lunch and I was just bashing Kansas City, and Trent White, who's listening to this. Yes, Trent, I was talking about you, but I was like really happy Philadelphia won. And I looked at you and you were like, okay. You won the last 2 years. Be happy. Okay. You won 3 out of the last 4. Be happy. Okay. So from Dodge City, Kansas?
Yes.
It's the middle of nowhere.
Yes.
I should play an event up there.
Kansas.
What's the, there was Southwinds.
It's in Garden
City, Kansas. Mm-hmm. And then what's in Dodge City?
Mariah Hills.
That's it. And then there's another one up there. Buffalo. No, there's one that's like a little town that's, anyways, close by, like Buffalo something.
Yeah, Buffalo Dunes. That's in Garden too.
Yeah, that's it. Yep. Mm-hmm. That's how I used to play that. You used to go there and play. It was great tournaments up there. So you're from there. And then, okay, so how long did you live there?
Pretty much till I started college. Went to Fort Hays State in Kansas for about 3 years. Okay. And then transferred down here to Edmond UCO.
So you went to UCO here. Okay. So you went to Fort Hays. What'd you go to Fort Hays for? What were you getting to get your degree in?
So I was undecided the first couple years. I was actually in the marching band up there. Okay. Played trombone. You're the size for it. It makes sense. Totally makes sense. Okay. Yeah. Undecided. Actually decided on geography because I like meteorology. Thought I could go into that, but then figured out I like golf.
You've been a tall weatherman. Okay. Then you got into golf. Okay. So you're that trombone player in the back of the band walking back that stood above everybody, weren't you?
Yeah.
See, this is the greatest thing for me because I get to find out all this new stuff and I get to harass you guys about this. Okay. So then you went down to University of Central Oklahoma.
Yes.
So is that your first introduction to Oklahoma? I mean,
I've been down to Oklahoma City a couple times before, but not too often. Okay.
So you came to UCO and you came to go into the PGA program here, right? Okay. Most people, in fact, just assume all people out there listening to this or watching this do not know what that is. Okay. So I want you to explain it. You just got through it. So explain what this is to everybody out there. What is the PGA program?
Yeah. So UCO, it's one of about 16 schools in the country that have this professional golf management program. Right. It's anyone who wants to go into like the PGA and get a job in golf eventually. Right. So we have to go through internships through that program. We have to do a total of 16 months.
Right.
And then we'd, during the year for like school, we'd alternate between like teaching and coaching was one semester. And then the other semester was like golf facility management. and running a golf course.
So kind of tell, so you're sitting at college, you're going to college, you get a business degree.
Yeah,
so it's not a PGA degree, you get a business degree, a business management degree, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a real accredited, I mean, it's a big deal. Okay. And there's 16 of these universities across the country. They always ebb and flow. There's always add a couple. Okay.
Yeah.
But tell them the type of class, the classes you took when you were there. So because you had to take real college classes. So talk about the classes you took there. What were they? Yeah,
we had marketing, a little bit of finance, a little bit even business law, which was a little difficult.
Right.
Economics, couple economics classes.
So it was a business degree. I mean, it was a business degree. Yeah. Business management degree. It's great. I mean, so you went through that. And then how did that roll into the PGA? So explain this, because even if you didn't get your PGA, you'd have a business management degree, right?
Yes. Okay. That's right.
So you'd have that. But then what did you have to do extra? I mean, to become PGA, what did you have to do?
Yeah. So, we had to go through there's 3 levels of the PGA, kind of B level, and then level 1, level 2, level 3.
Right.
So each level was pretty much a year, in school. So we had to pass a test for the facility management one semester, and then pass the next test for lesson or teaching and development. And then
now you came in. Now a lot of guys go there though. Explain this to me, because you're actually going to educate me on this. A lot of guys will go there, and gals will go there, and they'll do all 4 years. They go to UCO just to get a business degree and go to PGA. You had done 3 years of college before you came in here.
Yeah.
And then you rolled in and did this. Yeah. So what did you have to do different? Did you have, did you have a lot of stuff you had to do at the end, or what did you do different? Was it different for you?
A little bit. I actually was able to go through slightly quicker because I had a lot of my gen ed courses done at Hayes. So those transferred. But I kind of to start over with all the business because I didn't.
Yeah. So you got stacked heavy at the end. I mean, with the business management, the business courses, because okay.
Yeah, I could spread it out a little bit.
Because when I went through my PGA, which was now actually 20 years ago this year, I did the same. We'd go through the same thing, but we do it on our own. So we have to do our own self-studying, our own self. It's like taking a night classes. I mean, and you do your own, and then you go to get tested on it. So you got to go sit through classes and learn about it. Say, hey, this is what's going to be on the test. This is what's coming up. This is what you got to know. We kind of had to do that on our own. Yeah, okay. And here's what's interesting. And I will say this to you guys, just so they know this out there, because a lot of people ask this question. They're actually doing away or somewhat with the program I went through, which you kind of call a self-study program, because over 90% of the people who start what I went through, never get through it.
Gotcha.
They either drop out, they fail, or they don't complete it. It's 90-some%. And to have an accredited program, there's no way you could have that big of a failure rate and keep accredited.
Yeah.
Versus when you have the university programs, they have you guys are very regimented. This is what you do. This is what you do. This is what you do. And they're helping you. Yeah. I mean, they got tutors. They've got instructors who are helping you to get through it. And trust me, the graduation now, from those that start the program to finish it, still not real high. Yep. But those that start going through it, it's much higher success rate. Is the best way to put that. Okay, so you went through that. You went through the schooling. You got through that. And then tell them a little bit about your on-the-job training or your what you call your internship. Talk about that for a minute.
So those is a really good learning experience. So we go over those kind of during the summers, when we weren't in school. So the first one I went to a little outside of Columbus, Ohio, golf course called the Medallion Club. Okay. So there I mostly worked in the pro shop, did a little bit of teaching. John Decker, he was on the instructors up there, but with the junior clinics did a few weeks of those.
Typically, when you're in your first or second summer of internship, you're going to be folding shirts, selling socks, selling green fees, making sure guys are getting their tea times, whatever you're doing in the shop. And you get to go take care of the kids. So when they have 100 kids in the range, you're riling them up and making sure they're not hitting each other and doing, am I right? Yeah. That's what they're doing. And that's good. That's a great experience. So that was your first year, am I right? Yeah. And then what'd you do your second year?
Second one, I went to Dismal River is in middle of nowhere, Nebraska. Okay. Kind of just a little north of North Platte.
Like Dodge City?
A little bit. Up in the Sand Hills.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But there was a little more outside services. Okay. There was actually 8 interns. 4 of them were from UCO. Okay. But the summer wasn't that great. The winter was really cold up there and it killed all the greens. Oh, okay. So it wasn't super busy.
So winter kill. Winter kill was pretty bad that year. Yeah. You happen to hit an off year with bad winter kill. So it can probably, because that's a very resorters, there's not a lot of locals in there doing that. They're coming in. And when you get winter kill, it's not happening. Oh, I've heard about this. It was like when they first built that, I was like, up in Sand Hills, you got to come play this. You got to come play this. And everybody flies in. They built an airport for that place.
Yep.
They built an airport just for that facility for private planes coming in.
Yep.
But you get winter kill in that, it's not going to happen. People, these are the guys that go to Pebble tomorrow, go to Cypress the next day, come fly up there. Yeah. And it's not, So, but you got to go there with your buddies. So you had some of your friends up there. Am I right?
Yeah,
that was nice. So, and then what was your next one?
With Graves.
With Graves. Okay. And then, so how long were you, and you can tell them there, how long were you interning with us?
So, it was 16 months total. I did 10 of them with Graves.
Right.
So this summer, a couple summers ago, and then through the year.
It's interesting because the guys have heard the story. Some of them have at home. Trent White went through the same program. We've had quite a few guys, but Trent White is still with us, went through the same program. And when Trent did his internship, I think his first summer, I don't know where he went someplace. And then the second summer, he came with us.
Okay.
And then he didn't want to go anywhere else. And his third summer, he lied and came with us because you're supposed to go to different places. He came back to us. We wrote in, oh, you're a different position now. And then his third long one, he came back to us. So it's like, we actually just brainwashed him. So Trent goes, I have nowhere else to go. So you spent a majority of your internship with us. Right. Okay. So we won't ask how it went. Because obviously he's still here. So then you just finished up your internship. All right. Okay. So this is a lot of prolonged process. So this isn't like it happened yesterday. This is years. Okay. And you just finished them. All right. That's when you got your class A. All right.
Yes.
So now you have to take tests to finish it. Am I right on this? And so, okay. And everybody has this. Okay. So let's just talk about this. We'll throw this out. Everybody has this. Mine, I went in and messed up on filling out the test things and flunked a test because I filled out the thing wrong and panicked and then had to go and retake it and pass it. Okay. And I know when Wes Wilkinson and I were doing it together, Trent. So what was your issue? Everybody has an issue. There's always one issue that you have because guys, when all is said and done, you're probably taking close to 30. And these are not like a 1-day test, like, it's just what we covered yesterday. These are tests over stuff you went over weeks and weeks or semesters. And you take up to 30 tests over all this. And if you don't pass them, even one test, you don't get through. Am I right? I mean, they try to give you retakes and try to get you help, right? What was your sticking point?
Yep. So I passed every test on the first time until the very last one,
which was what?
Over, level 3 facility management.
There you go. There's always one. Am I right? There's always one.
Yeah. I actually had to take it a third time. The first time I didn't do so great in it. Second time I missed passing by one question.
One question. So 70% passes. And then you were mad, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Then got a little bit of tutoring, then passed it pretty well easily on the third time.
Yeah. I always tell people the story. I always give them the real funny story. It's not funny for me, but when I was in level 2, I went and took a test. It was actually the teaching test. In the first 10 questions, the first 9 questions were true and false. And question number 10 through 25 were multiple choice. Okay. So think about this. And you had to fill out bubbles. Okay. Well, when I went through the sheet, I skipped number 9 and 10 because the way it was set up. So I filled the bubbles in wrong.
Okay.
So I submitted the test. When I got my test result back, which I knew it all, I scored like a 30. Oh. And it freaked Wes out. So I flunked it completely. Okay. And I was like, and when you flunk a test, they come back to you and they tell you missed this question. Am I right? And they kind of try to help you through it. I missed everything. And it was a teaching test. It was over teaching. I'm like, and I was tutoring people on this the night before. I'm like, are you kidding me? I flunked this. And I'm asking Wes and the guys with me, what'd you answer in this question? And I'm like, that's what I did. I'm like, how did I do this? Well, they showed me the bubble thing. And the number 10 question, I just skipped over it. I just skipped it. So I wrote in the wrong bubbles. So the next day I go in the morning for the retake. Now I'm in Port St. Lucie doing this. And if you flunk it a second time, they send you home. So I've got a half hour to take this test. I get the exact test and I filled out the bubbles wrong again. And I've got 5 minutes to erase them and fix it. And I'm panicking. You don't have those dreams, like you wake up and sweat and dreams. This was the dream. Okay. This was the nightmare. The guy came by and I filled in the last bubble and took it out of my hand. Okay. And I'm just like, panic. Because I did it again. I screwed up the answer sheet. I scored 100 on it and just in a panic, okay. So for the next 5 days of the school, they named me Bubbles. I got the nickname Bubbles. And in fact, I got a head cover in there with bubbles on it. Because I couldn't figure out how to fill out the bubbles and I got a Scantron. Anyway. Okay. So, okay. So you are right. So you just finished, you passed the test, you got everything done and you got your Class A PGA. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. So tell everybody at home what that means. So you got your Class A PGA now. What's that mean?
So be a Class A like PGA professional, can barely I guess like pro events, we can go to those.
Right. See, I'm asking him this question because I've been here for 20 years now, and I want them to hear the new stuff. So basically, he's recognized as a class A. There's 30,000 of us. It's not a union, but it's a big fraternity / union. You know that now you're recognized and you are now recognized as a PGA professional in this country. And in PGA, it's called a Class A PGA, but there's all kinds of different levels of Class A PGA. A3s, everybody asks, what are touring pros? They're A3s, okay? Head professionals of golf courses are A1s. Assistant golf courses are A2s. You know what your classification is?
A6.
A6. It's because you're under me and I'm a head teaching professional. So, I think I'm an A14. But but he knew that. That was his test for the day. He's an A6 because that's all the PGA cares. What's your level? I say, and it doesn't mean that an A1's ranked higher than you. It doesn't mean that an A you're ranked higher than, because I'm actually you're underneath me and I'm an A14, you're an A6. But it's just a classification. But you have a classification that's massive, and you'll have it the rest of your life as long as you pay the dues and you stay in the industry. You'll have it forever. That's huge. It does mean you can go to the Masters now. You just go walk up, show them your ID, get in. You go to any PGA event, any professional event. You just show your ID, look at as many tickets as you want. And the greatest thing also is that you're represented by a huge organization. So you can call anywhere, anytime, any place, and PGA professionals will help. And that's huge. They will never turn you down because if they do, they get bald. And that's huge. That is massive. And congratulations for that again.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. So that's where you are now, right? And then to top that off, and this is the least important, he just got married.
Yes.
And where'd you meet her at?
Through UCO, the Catholic organization.
Right. That's cool. That was really cool. So they're Catholic, and he's very religious in his Catholic organization, which is great. I grew up Catholic. So trust me, I know. My dad would be so proud of this. My dad passed away a year and a half ago, and to know that I have a Class A PGA professional. He was Roman Catholic, big boy. He was. You don't know what Catholic is, so even on my dad. Okay, so, but and so it's great. I love that. And so you met her and you got married how long ago?
I think 3 months.
Okay. So how old are you?
25.
Graduating college in the last year and a half. Class A PGA professional last year and a half. Just getting married in last year, right? Here we go. And you're working with Graves Golf. Okay. So, and Matt, and how long have you been with us now? Total. So long. How long have you been with us? You counting your internships and everything?
Total about 2 years.
2 years. Okay. And tell them at home. So now that we've gone through this, what do you do for Graves Golf? Tell them what you do. So what are your responsibilities for Graves Golf? What is it?
Yeah, I'm one of the level 3 coaches. Right. I'm doing the video reviews. I also help out quite a bit with schools.
Right.
I'm starting to travel a little more. Then starting to get a little bit involved with the SB30.
Love it
as well.
So when you say level 3 coach, so we know we have the Single Plan Academy. We have level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a level 3 coach. And the level 3 of the Single Plan Academy is one of the levels they can send in a couple videos a month.
Yep.
And it's limited. I mean, they can send but it is hands-on. I say hands-on. It is video intensive. Send in a video and get your swing looked at or whatever.
Yes.
Okay. So you do that. And so when you come in here and you come into our academy, you're going to see Matt in one of our main rooms in here, and he's going to have a computer in front of him, his computer here, his iPad here, and he's working with students continually. I mean, it's literally all day. Okay. So talk about this for a minute, because talk right now to somebody out there who's watching this, who didn't even know we had membership or didn't even know what level 3 was. And okay, so they know right now, I've told them level 3, one of the things it allows you to do is to send in video tours. Okay. Talk a little bit about how that works. So if I was somebody right now going, I heard you do video review for Graves Golf. What is that? How does it work?
Yeah.
Talk about it a little bit. What is it?
Yeah. So when you send in videos, they'll send in a down the line view and then face on view. So you can see those 2 angles, really key. But we'll bring you in with Mo on right next to you, and it'll compare, kind of work through address and grip positions and see the first biggest mistake. Will kind of stop you there and give you some exercises.
So basically, let's say you had Jane Doe or John Doe. They send in a video, and they do it with their coach now. Right? It's real simple, you guys. It's you do it in your iPhone. Do people do it in their iPhone or iPads? Right? Okay, so the majority do it in their iPhone or iPad. Yeah. Okay, very simple. Film your face on down the line. It doesn't have to be a range. It could be hitting wiffle balls inside, and just swinging inside. I mean, we got a lot of guys that send in drills from inside. So if you want to do this all inside, you can do it. You know, a lot of people are too embarrassed to do it in a range. Okay. So that's fine. Right.
Yes.
Okay? In fact, I have a lot of guys doing this, but I remember you used to watch Trent, and there'd be guys hitting wiffle balls in their backyard against a fence filming it. Am I right? Okay. So when they send it in and you're saying we get these different views, you're looking at what? Setup, like grip, like stance, like shoulders, like describe that a little bit. When you say setup.
Yeah. Yeah. So just the overall address position, I'm looking at like leg position or legs relatively straightforward bend, a little bit of side bend, broad position with the lead arm grip as well.
And so how many, now you're one of 4, or actually one of 6, but basically full time, one of 4 guys that does this. Okay. Full time. How many videos do you think you go through a day? What'd you say on average? What do you think?
Depends.
I know 10 minutes a day, but just give me a rough estimate.
Yeah, probably about 12.
Okay. 12 a day. Okay. Guys, trust me, Mondays are much busier because of our weekends and Tuesdays, and it slows down. But okay. So we're talking 10 to 12 a day. Okay. And they're coming in and you do this every day. Okay. He does this every day. Okay. And we see ladies and guys and juniors and older and younger. Am I right?
Yes.
I mean, we always say from 7 to 700. I mean, but seriously, am I right? Okay. Now, how many of these videos when they come in, okay, how many of these have a perfect setup? Be honest.
Maybe 10%.
Okay. Is that given a little?
Yeah, maybe 5.
Remember, Matt's a nice guy. Am I right?
Yeah.
Not very many. Am I right?
There's almost kind of every swing I see, there's always something I'll adjust it.
And then address the setup, right?
Yeah. Wider stance.
Remember Clay Farnsworth, who's been doing this for going on 20 years, it seems like. His nickname's Captain Video. You know, you learn a lot from Clay. We all do. He will sit there and say nobody, you know, and then he gets people so upset at him because like he's going over the same thing, but it's right. It's right. Okay. Now I'm one of the founders of this company, and I say you're a rookie. I say you're just one of the younger guys in the company. I'm going to ask you this question: how important is the setup in the golf swing?
Oh, it's everything.
What do you mean by that?
It's if you don't start correctly, you can't get through the rest of the swing correctly. It's like kind of like a math problem, like those algebra problems. If you mess one thing up, the answer's gonna be wrong. Yeah.
And so you have no chance at the end.
Yeah.
I love it. No, I asked this straight. And yes, we do brainwash them all. But notice we said he didn't hesitate in that, did you? Okay. And so this was interesting. And so when you see this, so think about this. He's been doing this for a while now. He sees 10 to a dozen videos every single day. You see some common issues, don't you?
Oh yeah.
Like what? So give a common issue. Just like if somebody out there is going, well, they can't be all different. Give a common issue. Like give me one.
Yeah, probably getting that hip bump towards the target that creates that side bend.
Right.
And even the lead hand grip, it's rotated strong. Yeah.
So strong lead hand grip. And then now how much when you deal with the swing issues, how much is his hip issues?
Oh yeah, quite a bit.
Quite a bit. How much do you think is flexibility issues?
Good amount. Right.
Yeah. And it's just because of our demographic, because it's interesting. You notice from his history here, he talked about teaching juniors, working with juniors. You've seen a little bit of everything. I mean, you taught. I love it. When you did internships, you did some teaching. That's great. It's a little different when you're working with a 10, 12, 14-year-old versus a 50, 60, 7-year-old, isn't it? Yeah. It's a little bit, am I right?
Yeah, it is.
In fact, it's a lot harder to even get in the setup position when you have lack flexibility, am I right? Yeah. It is. And it's nobody's fault. I mean, over years, you sit in chairs, you're not mobile. You know, we lost some mobility or flexibility. And guess what happens? I mean, you see those issues, right? So you're doing mainly video reviews. Okay. That's great. And I love that. That if I said right now, and you can't really put a percentage on it, but that's probably 75% of what he does with Graves Golf is video reviews.
Yeah.
And he's very good at it. He's very, very good at it. You said you also travel to schools.
Yes.
Okay. That been a rude awakening for you?
A little bit. Yeah.
Why? So so give us your firsthand experiences that come to schools with us.
My internship, did a few here out at Lincoln Park when we were still there.
Right.
But yeah, recently in end of January, I went down to Orlando.
Right.
It was a little different, getting in a different environment, getting everything set up here.
Right. So what do you think of dealing with people in person? Because you do videos is one thing, in person another. What do you think of that?
I like it maybe a little more because you can kind of directly work with them, develop a relationship too over the camp. But getting them to feel what a turn is in their lower body, from 0 to 1 is big.
Right. So there's 3 different levels. Now, I'm not talking levels of memberships. I'm going to talk about 3 different levels here of working with somebody. Okay. You have hands-on, you have video review, and you have through like email or just asking questions across talk. Okay. Yep. So it's like, then obviously the 4th was not having no connection or they're just, okay. So you have a hands-on, you have video where they get to video, and then you have through like an email where they're asking questions through emails.
Yeah.
Rate those levels for me. Like if you can do that, like how big is hands-on?
I mean, everything.
It's why?
There's some things with video you can't see, especially with the grip.
Right.
It's a little hard to see like exactly where your hand this place you can get just really close in person and see that. And then like email, if we can't see what you're doing, it's really hard to.
And you deal with all those, don't you? Obviously I've been doing it for 25 years, so I've done it on the umpteenth scale. But you're seeing this now. Yeah. And it's amazing. So if somebody called you up right now and said, because this is the number one question I get, what do I have to come in person that you can't do in video or on an email? What would you say?
In person's everything.
It really is, isn't it? It's crazy.
There.
But if they can't, or they can only do it once a year, then it's what?
Video,
right? Yeah. And how much more valuable is video than like an email or just a question?
We can actually just see what you're doing. Right. And with a question, it's hard to answer because you just can't see it.
Well, it's the number one thing I get, because when I do webinars, I do a couple a month and we get these questions, we get the Q&A.
Yeah.
And what we get on the webinars is we get, the guy will say is, why am I coming over the top of it? Or why am I pulling this ball? Or why do I top my hybrids? Or whatever the question is. And I'm going to go, okay, well, I'm going to give you a general answer of what we think most people do and cause this.
Yeah.
Okay. In a cause effect relationship. Whereas, and I'll sit there every single time. I know it sounds like I'm a broken record, but they go, if you send in a video, we know immediately what you're doing. Am I right? And you're the one reviewing the videos. And so we would know immediately, wouldn't we? You're not guessing on this. So how much guesswork is there when you do a video?
Very, very little.
There's none, right? Yeah. And how much guesswork is there in an email? Answer an email.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. And then in person, they get to feel it because you get to push them into those positions. So that's the difference. So, all right. So next one, are you happy with Graves Golf so far?
I am.
I mean, you're looking at me. I'm saying that. It's like, I should have somebody anonymous here. I look at my media guys and they're like, no. You like it so far?
Yes, I do.
You can handle this? So you can handle it? So, I mean, newlywed. Okay. How long did you date her before that?
About a little over 2 years.
So you kind of know who she was. Yeah. And plus she's Catholic, so she can't be all that bad. Right. So yeah. Okay. So you got newlywed, Class A PGA professional, right? Just getting out of school, having to travel now. So here's the question, because I always ask the young guys this. So if you travel to like a dozen schools a year, she can be able to handle it?
I think she'd be okay.
He hesitated, didn't he? He hesitated. That's why I lose the young guns. This is when you start having kids, when I start losing the young guns. But you're in Oklahoma City. Yeah. So and we're trying to set you up for this, and I'll be honest with you. And I don't know if you guys know this, I can tell you this at home, but this is the boss or the manager, the owner talking. We bring in incredible young guns. Guys are very aggressive, very good at what they do. And they're really, really good. And then they have the kid or two. And I understand that. I did the same thing. And then the mom says, you're traveling too much. I need you home helping me. You follow me here? Does your wife work? I know she does.
Yep, she does.
What is she?
She's a preschool teacher.
And I know this because my wife met your wife here a few months ago, and my wife was a preschool teacher, and she was like for 30 years. And she's like, I understand that wholeheartedly. Yeah. Golf professional preschool teacher. teacher. So here we go. So but it's always the kids. It's like, and you don't want to be away from it that much. So, but we're putting you in where you do the video assessment, you got to teach here and so on. Yeah. You should be good. Okay. And then the last thing is, how far do you live from this facility? So we're sitting at the Coffee Creek. We're sitting at the Graves Golf facility. How far do you live from here?
Probably a couple miles, mile.
A mile? You live a block. Yeah. If I hit a hard driver wedge, I think I can hit your place. Yeah. Am I right? Yeah. So, which is great. You live right here. So no excuses, right? Yeah. My son lives right next door to you. Doesn't he? They're right here. All right. So anything else? So here's, I want you to end this. So, and you guys know Matt's a shy guy. Doesn't like to get out of the box. I'm making him get out of the box. So you right now, so you're talking to these guys at home. You're one of my instructors in there that does the video review, and you're really, really, really good at it. You're fantastic at it.
Thank you.
Convince them to send in videos, because I'm on webinars continually saying, send in videos. And Todd's in there, send in videos. And, so I got the guy who's doing the video reviews. Now, every so often we'll peek over his corner and make sure things are going, what's going on, or need a little help, whatever. But trust me, it's a very small percentage of the time. Tell them at home, why do they need to send in videos? Convince them they need to send in videos, because just go ahead, talk to them for a minute.
Yeah, it helps for us to see like what you're doing wrong. It's really hard to answer over, like an email or like just a question. We have to see what you guys are doing. And then that helps us kind of see like how you guys are improving as well.
Love it. Just
seeing that progress.
Love it. So if I said right now, do you think would it slow down the process or speed up the process of them getting better sending in videos?
Oh, speed up
a lot, dramatically, right? Yeah, that's the thing, and that's the biggest thing, because these guys and gals out there are trying to get better, and they're trying to have more fun, trying to play pain free. That's what we're all about. But this is the way you speed up the process.
Yeah.
There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is the way to speed up the process, to send the videos. And then you got guys.
Yes.
And now, do you have any crazy people in there? And I'm going to ask you this. So do you have any like that sending videos like every stinking day? You have crazy people in there?
Yeah.
You do, don't you?
There's a few.
Is there a few?
Yeah.
We won't name names. So those guys out there, they're freaking out right now. They're thinking about to say names. We won't name names. We can name initials. Okay, but we want. But we have a few crazies right there.
There's a few.
Okay. That like sending videos like 2-3 times a week?
Yeah. Even every other day.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So anybody who says I'm going to send in 2 or 3 a month or 4 a month, trust me, you ain't even getting close to what some people do out there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, and then that last thing on this, because then I'm going to be real biased on this. How much short game video do you get in?
Ooh, 2% of the time.
I love it. 2%? Okay. Yeah. Like
Maybe
almost none.
Couple of.
How important is the short game in the game?
Oh, very.
And when you go teach at school, are the guys good at the short game?
They can do some.
You're a player. You can play some game. You can play. He had to play. He has to pass a PAT for to become PGA. He has to have a certain level of playability to become PGA. So he can play some golf. Trust me, he can play some golf. So when you watch our normal, typical students short game, is it very good?
Not the best.
Okay, he's tactful. I'm gonna say it stinks. Okay, right? Because these guys, if they can't break 90, I mean, 75% of the scoring occurs inside 75 yards of the green.
Yes.
Okay. And if they can't break 90 or they can't break 85 or 100, they can't have a good short game. It's not that they can have a good short game, they just don't.
Yeah, okay. We'll work on it.
So why are they not sending video? I mean, it's critical in chipping, not pitching, even bunker. Am I right? Because will you assess it? You analyze it?
Oh yeah.
You will, won't you?
Yeah.
And would you like to get more of that in?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the number one thing when I talk to Clay or talk to the other guys who do the video, like send in more short game.
Yeah.
Send in more short game. Because then what happens is these guys will send in videos for a few months and they'll go rate their game by scoring. And what they're not working on is the scoring part of the game. You follow me here?
Yes.
And then all of a sudden they go, I don't see any improvement. I see very little improvement. Well, you're going to see very little. You'll get the ball better in play. You may not lose as many golf balls. You're not getting as many out of bounds. But the effective scoring is minimal compared to what? Cutting 30, 45 putts around to 36 putts around, getting up and down 50% of the time, getting out of the bunker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And send in more short game video. They want to see it. All right.
Yeah.
They want it. Does that excite you when you get one of those in? Yeah, it's different.
So,
trust me.
Different look.
12 full swing videos for 10 days in a row. And all of a sudden you get one short game video. We're excited. So yeah, I live that life too. So anything else you want to tell them at home?
It's everything.
It's everything. Yeah. Okay, good. Well, I wanted to get Vad out here because he's the guy. He's one of the guys. In fact, he's going to walk away from here. He's going to go around the corner. And what do you got left? What do you got sitting there for you?
Get more videos.
Yeah.
More reviews.
More reviews. I pulled him away from reviews and go back to review. So, well, I appreciate it, bud.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming in. Thanks. And don't get any taller because I'm only getting shorter. I don't need to be sitting here doing this. So, okay. But I appreciate your time today.
Thanks. You.